Phase 2, reality check, daily rhythms. How do you structure your time?
Sweet. Yes, come here, little one. Hey, you're all so cute.
Does that structure support you or sabotage you? Welcome to Out of the Box Therapy. In today's video, we continue Phase 2, the reality check. And this time, we're going deep into your daily rhythms. Part 2 of the mini-series, we go deeper into the invisible structure that shapes every single day, your rhythms. We focus on your routines, your habits, your relationship with time itself.
Aw, I love you.
Here's what nobody tells you about a breakup. You don't just lose a person. You lose a schedule. The routines that once anchored your day may have collapsed entirely. The morning coffee you made together, gone. The evening routine, gone. The weekend plans, gone. The shared meals. The bedtime rhythm, the structure of us, gone. So the question I ask you is, what happened to your routine after the separation? That's what we're going to find out today. This is not about building the perfect routine. This is about radical honesty.
This is perfect.
Seeing your actual day as it actually is,
To us.
without judgment, without shame, and without the Instagram filter. Because you didn't lose a routine, you lost someone else's structure. Step 1 is about realizing what happened to your routine after the separation. When you were in the relationship, your day had a shape. Not always a good shape, but a shape. Morning rituals. Evening patterns. Weekend rhythms. They weren't all yours. Some belonged to the relationship. When the relationship ended, the routine didn't just change. It collapsed. And in that collapse, you lost more than a partner. You lose the structure of your days. You lose a schedule. And suddenly, you're standing in the middle of an empty day with no blueprint. This isn't failure. This is what happens when the scaffolding of a shared life is removed. The question isn't why did the routine collapse? The question is what do you build now? I want you to reflect on 3 questions right now. 1. What routine from the relationship have I kept that no longer serves me? Maybe you still cook for 2. Maybe you still sleep on your side of the bed. Maybe you still avoid the restaurant you went to together. 2. What new routine have I been avoiding that would actually help? You know what it is. Journaling. The meal prep. The thing you keep saying you'll start tomorrow. 3. If I designed my ideal healing day, what would the first hour look like? Not a fantasy. Not a Pinterest board. A real, achievable first step that belongs to you. Hold those answers. We'll come back to them. Now that you have identified what you kept, what you're avoiding, and what your ideal healing day would look like. It's time for step 2. In step 2, I want you to grab your journal and map out a typical day. From the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep. Not your best day. Not your worst day. Your most common day. I want you to map your typical day honestly. This reflection will help you complete your current routine assessment. Grab your journal and break it into 4 blocks. You'll map 4 time blocks. Morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Writing down what you actually do, not what you wish you did. If you scroll your phone for 2 hours, write it down. If you skip breakfast, write it down. If you nap at 3 p.m. and stay up until 2 a.m., write it down. Remember, this is not a verdict. This is an inventory. You're not grading yourself. You're mapping the terrain. Let's begin with the morning block. From the moment your alarm goes off to noon. What time do you actually wake up? Not what your alarm says. What time your feet hit the floor. Do you eat breakfast? Do you reach for your phone before your body has even woken up? How long before you speak to another human being? Next, let's look at your afternoon block. What fills these hours? Are you working? Scrolling social media on your phone? Sleeping? Do you eat a real meal? Or grab whatever's closest? Is there any movement in your body during this time? Or are you stationary from the couch to the bed? Now, let's focus on the evening block. This is where the loneliness often hits hardest. What do you do with this block? Do you cook or order in? Do you watch alone? Do you pour a drink? Is this when the phone comes out and the scrolling begins? Finally, it's time to focus on the night block. When do you actually go to bed? When do you actually fall asleep? What's the last thing you look at before closing your eyes? What time is on the clock when you're still wide awake? Write it all down. No editing. No optimizing. No shame. This is your current routine, and it's just data. Data you can work with. All I ask is that you be honest. What does your typical day look like after your breakup? Working. Staying busy. Scrolling my phone for hours. Napping to avoid feeling. Or I honestly can't account for those hours. I often remind my clients that a day without rhythm isn't freedom. It's floating. And floating feels like peace. Until you realize you've drifted miles from shore. Now that you've mapped your day, I want you to look at it through 3 lenses. Anchors, voids, and numbing behaviors. Anchors are the activities that give your day structure. Even small ones. The morning coffee. The dog walk. The work meeting. These are the tent poles holding up the day. Voids are the empty time that feels uncomfortable. The hours you can't account for. The blocks where nothing happens and the loneliness rushes in. Numbing behaviors are the things you do to avoid feeling. The 3-hour scroll. The extra glasses of wine. The Netflix binge that stretches past midnight. The shopping you can't afford. These aren't evil. They're escape hatches. And they tell you exactly where the pain is. Now it's time for us to go back to your day map. Mark each activity. A for anchor. V for void. N for numbing. I want you to have an honest look at your day. Circle every anchor in your day. What are the activities that give your day structure? Maybe it's your morning coffee. Maybe it's walking the dog. And this is the only reason you go outside. Maybe it's the one meeting that forces you to be present. Anchors don't have to be impressive. They just have to be real. Now, identify the empty stretches. I call these voids. Those moments that feel uncomfortable. The hours that you can't account for. The evenings that stretch out like a desert. The time that doesn't have a name or a purpose. Voids aren't bad. They're just unstructured. An unstructured time after a breakup is where the spiral lives. Mark every void with a V. Now look at your day and identify the things you do to avoid feeling what the void is trying to show you. These activities you use to avoid feeling are what I call numbing behaviors. The 3-hour phone scroll. The extra glass of wine that becomes a bottle. The sleeping at 3 p.m. to skip the afternoon. The online shopping you can't afford. The checking of your ex's social media again and again. These behaviors aren't failures. They're pain management systems. And they're telling you exactly where the wound is. Mark every numbing behavior with an N. This is your rhythm. Unfiltered. What do you see? And now that you can see it, you can change it. You don't want to account for the time you spend checking on your ex. I'm no going to pretend you don't do it. And you don't need to pretend either. How much of your daily rhythm is consumed by monitoring someone who is no longer part of your life? Honestly, are you checking their social media profiles, scrolling through old photos on your phone, rereading text messages from months ago, checking who they're following and who's following them, looking for signs that they've moved on, looking for signs that they haven't, Googling their name, checking through mutual friends' stories for a glimpse? How many minutes a day? Be honest. 20 minutes, an hour, more. Now multiply that by 7. That's your weekly cost. Multiply it by 30. That's your monthly cost. Every single one of those minutes was stolen from building your life, from your healing, from your new rhythm. And here's what I want you to understand. You're not checking because you want them back. You're checking because you're terrified. They're doing better without you. That fear, that's the forever story talking. It's not reality. It's the story. So here's what I want you to do right now. Open your phone. Go to your screen time settings. Look at which apps consume the most time this week. What do you see? If social media is at the top of the list, and if you're honest about why, then you've just identified the single biggest drain on your daily rhythm. It's time to reclaim that time. Not out of punishment, out of self-respect. Please remember, every minute monitoring your ex life is a minute stolen from building yours. Let's talk about your body for a moment. Because your daily rhythm doesn't just affect your mind. It affects your physical health. And your body has been keeping score. Every skipped meal, every sleepless night, every hour on the couch, every extra drink. Your body noticed, even when you didn't. So let's do a quick health basics reality check. We will focus on the following 5 basics: sleep, nutrition, movement, hydration and substances. How many hours are you actually sleeping? Not in bed. Sleeping. And what's the quality? Are you waking at 3 a.m.? Falling asleep while watching TV?
I never thought it would end this way.
Or while strolling your
We were
phone?
supposed to have more time.
How many real meals are you eating per day? Not snacks over the sink. Meals. At a table. With actual nutrients. When was the last time your body moved with intention? Not just walking to the fridge. Actual movement. A walk. A stretch. Anything. How much water are you actually drinking? Coffee doesn't count. This one requires radical honesty. Has your alcohol intake increased since the separation? Any new dependencies? Sleep aids, caffeine substances. Remember, no judgment. Only data. Write down your scores in your journal. This is your baseline. It tells you where to focus first. Next, I need you to hear this. You are not your worst day. You are not your survival behaviors. You are not the 3M scrolling, or the skipped meals, or the naps that swallowed the afternoon. You are the person learning to build better rhythms, one day at a time. The fact that you're here, watching this, doing this work, being honest, that is the rhythm changing. So let's make it concrete. Grab your journal, write these 3 things. 1. The truth about my daily rhythms is. Finish the sentence. Don't edit, don't soften the message. Just write. 2. One routine I will add this week. Just one. Not a whole morning overhaul. One small achievable. Kind thing. Maybe it's drinking water before looking at your phone. Maybe it's a 10-minute walk. Maybe it's eating one real meal at the table. Choose it. Write it. Commit to it. 3. One behavior I will reduce this week. Not eliminate, reduce. Maybe it's cutting your phone scroll by 30 minutes. Maybe it's one less drink at night. Maybe it's not checking your ex's profile before bed. Name it. Write it. Begin. Let's now do a deep dive. What would my ideal first day look like if I designed it for healing? Not just surviving. What time of day am I worst vulnerable to numbing behavior? And what could I do instead? If I could only keep 3 activities in my daily routine, which 3 would I keep? You didn't lose a routine. You lost someone else's structure. Now it's time to build your own. If this video moved you, leave a comment. If you completed the exercises, I'm proud of you. Like this video, subscribe. You're not doing this alone. I'll see you in the next video.